This was recorded immediately after Wanderful episode 50, Inside the Tide's Lair, so this is the party's immediate reactions to what happened. Make sure you listen to that before this, cause it's full of spoilers and you'll probably be confused. Alright, carry on.
I think Carveth just falls to his knees.
Yeah, I kind of just crouch down to comfort him. And I'm just rubbing his shoulders with both hands, like one across his wingspan. And I'm just like, I know. But we can't let all of what they did for us, all of what they set in motion for us, just fall away now. We'll have our time to give them a proper grave and say our final goodbyes, but just...
I do want to say really quick, just to make sure everything was clear. As far as you know, you're not sure if she's dead.
Yeah.
But she was swept away to another zone.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
if
she looks pretty fucked up right now.
I'd assume
so what you're seeing is a remnant of the literal fabric of space and time in front of you as she was ripped into another zone.
Yes, as she was pulled away.
So this isn't her. This is like where her
it's an after
physical form was and was removed.
Can you clarify something for me? And I actually would appreciate we should.
Yeah, we can go over a lot of that because that was so much information. So it was 3 pages of information.
So do the pieces of congruence do they still exist, or did they? And did she just destroy one? So the 3 pieces
of the congruence. So the 3 pieces of the congruence were a different congruence.
Okay.
They found another artifact which the Sheldon, the lobster, had told you that they believed that there was 3 total. As far as they knew, there was 3 total. One that Duradera had. Now we know one that they have and one somewhere. This one that your mother's found was split into 3. One of which was Bond's mom gave to the adventuring party that y'all met last episode. Faye, aka Xena, gave hers to the Sandswept, which is the group you're with right now. And Kira, Alandi's mom, dropped hers at the bottom of Lake Campbell.
And help me, is Lake Campbell, that's the one that we already went to, like that mine place?
I don't know if you remember, you all went into the bottom. There was this weird area that had like this crazy magical, like necromantic, like energy that Silver was like making some kind of ritual or something there.
Yes. So was that, just to clarify, can we assume that was him taking that piece, or is that piece still there?
It could be.
So I guess you don't really know the answer to that question. What I will say is you wouldn't be sure what the fuck he was doing there. He had some kind of weird ritual set up. If you remember, there was like a
No, Tyler,
thin,
hold on.
like,
I just want to say
perfectly
you
circular.
you're making a lot of sense. But counterpoint: would you like your 3 players to go to the opposite side of the map? If it is
Back
not.
to
Let
this
me
thing.
say what I'm about to say just really quick.
Okay.
If you would remember, there was in this room this weird, like almost perfectly cylindrical, like stream of water flowing from a hole in the ceiling to a hole in the floor in that room.
Okay, so that was
just kind of
where-
mentioned in.
That's
Yeah,
presumably
nobody did
where it
anything with
was.
that. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. We will not go all the way back there for no reason.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I hate that.
So
No,
question,
Tyler wants to do this.
question.
Let's go. We're gonna stop exploring the mountains. We're gonna
So-
turn around
so-
and we're gonna go.
Listen,
to
listen.
Campbell's.
So
What do you think I just said? There was a hole that had been like a perfectly cylindrical hole that had been burned from the ceiling of
It's
this room
my
through
first
the ground
thought-
and flowing further deeper
Yes,
into the ground.
that
is
was
what I'm
literally
saying.
my first thought, Tyler. Is that it's probably farther down than where we went,
Okay.
like meteor style.
The water did not stop at the ground in the room you were at. It kept going. Like the hole was a perfect cylinder above you. It flowed through the
This
room
is
and then a perfect
timely.
cylinder below.
It
you.
looks like, boys. It looks like we're gonna. Boys, it looks like we're gonna have to go on some cave diver business and leave nothing but our shoes behind as we dive into a pinprick hole in the ground.
So Tyler, just to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
There's 3 big pieces, right? One was at
Yeah.
Duradera. The Tide has that major piece.
Oh, that's not a piece.
I know.
That's-
I know.
that's
What
the
I
whole
say a
thing.
piece. Sorry. One of the major ones. Like it's the
okay,
the
no, we
ones-
already have
no, no,
verbiage.
no, no, no.
Congruity
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a piece. Congruence
Oh
is
my
a
god! No,
congruence-
no, I can't do
The
that.
congruence from
Do it.
Duradera was
It's good.
was
It's
stolen by the
taxonomy.
tide.
Trying to make it
has
make
been removed
sense.
from existence.
Yes.
Right in front of you is.
I got this.
It was destroyed.
I got this.
Took over. That
I
one's
got this.
gone.
Hold on. There's 3 pieces to the Triforce.
Fuck you. No.
One of the pieces was split into a bunch of pieces.
One of the pieces was split into 3.
Okay.
You at least have a good idea as to where all 3 pieces are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
We're
got
gonna
exploded
go get
just in
'em.
front of our face, correct?
Dude.
That was a
gonna
piece.
get-
No, that's not a
That was
piece.
a
That's
hole.
one of the whole Triforces.
Yeah,
That's one of the
my
whole-
god.
Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
They had a congruence.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
The mothers
Power,
found
wisdom, and
another
courage?
congruence and split it into 3.
So
Gotcha.
power got destroyed.
Now
There's
you
just
believe there's a
wisdom
third
and
congruence
pieces
somewhere,
of
according to what
courage are
the Sheldon the
everywhere.
lobster said.
And just to double check, so the Tide should still have 1, right?
Why?
The one that exploded is the one the Tide had.
Yes.
Yes.
It's right in front of you.
Got
Oh,
you.
so the
That
other
makes
one
sense.
really is just gone. Like,
The
we're not
Tide is
sure
looking
what
for the third one,
The
probably.
one that Tide had was completely destroyed. It's right in front of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Its power was removed from existence.
For whatever
Your
reason, I
mother's
thought you
found a
said whenever
second
you
one,
described the
there's
army
a
to me,
third
there were 2.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And
We have a piece
no
with
idea
us
about
right
the third
now.
one.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the
The
Sand
Adventures
Sweat
is-
probably has one, and then there probably is one by like
Back at Campbell.
Yeah.
potentially.
So a couple things I want to touch on from all of that I just read, because
Yeah.
there's a number of things.
Yes.
Carveth's mom was Faye.
Yes. So
Yep, that's
Yeah.
what I was just about to say
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Holy shit, your mom's been with us the whole time.
well.
So Carveth's the only one who knows his mom and dad.
oh no! That's so
I'm so
unfair.
sorry about
Hey,
That's
you can-
so unfair. You
Oh, you
fuck.
can-
Tyler, are you sure you don't want Bontavious to not know his father? Are you sure? You
Hey,
want
to be
that
fair,
decision
to be
for
fair,
Bontavious,
I've been
Tyler?
hinting at a potential for
Yeah.
prologue story. Bond's
It's cool.
mom and dad probably are both alive.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying. I just want it stated: the only people who has died are all the people that Alandi cares about. His 2 real parents and his 2 new parents.
I know I made the joke, but you literally made me canonically Tyler the creator in this universe because my dad doesn't know about me. It's not that he hates me or dislikes me. He
Oh no, your
doesn't.
dad
No,
does
he
know about
does.
you. That's why he
He kidnapped your mom.
Oh yeah.
Because he found out that she birthed him a son and didn't
Yeah.
tell him about it.
Damn,
So
that's
you've
fucked
got
up.
both
I'm
parents.
gonna give you a little bit of
Matt
spoiler.
has-
Your dad's a little bit of a nasty guy.
Oh,
I know.
No.
I figured. I
mean,
think
Jen
I,
aren't
like,
notoriously
I think I, like, played
great
with that
guys.
idea of like him being like a rich asshole, and so like that kind of fits.
Yeah.
Carveth has one
Alani's
parent.
parents were
Bond has
great
2
people.
parents.
They did.
Carveth has -2 parents.
So wait.
Or Alandi has -2
get this,
parents.
let me get this math right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7.5 parents, because my mom was also a different mom for us in a different role. So does that count as 2 moms?
Drin was like an
No,
adopted dad.
Drin
If
was
I
like
change
a
my
dad.
name to
Like an
Steven, I don't
adopted
count as
dad.
2 people.
So that makes like Bees is our uncles. These guys are like our uncles and aunts.
Do we have
Like,
any
you know,
cousins?
like yeah.
Each other.
I mean,
no,
you're all
no.
technically
I'd
cousins.
say
We're both
Celinda
brothers
technically
and
would
cousins.
be a
Wait.
cousin.
We're not brothers.
We're brother
Celinda's
cousins.
we're brezens.
We're
A
brothers.
dozen brezens.
Just
I'm not
3
going to
brozens.
lie.
So
This is
the
so
main
confusing.
idea,
I'm gonna go back to
other
being
than-
oppressed for a second.
Yeah,
other
let's
than
get back on the
just
ground.
being tons of lore dumping and exposition, I wanted to kind of get across that I feel like you 3 could feel this way. The listener could feel this way. You might feel like you've been living half a story and shit's just happening around you.
Mhm.
That's because I have been more or less tracking the events of this other party of people
Mhm.
also doing shit throughout. For instance, whenever you faced off with the tide in the Baron Yonder and were more or less rescued by Finn inside of that plane from Duradera, you them casting their spell was interrupted by a sound of glass shattering ringing out across
Yes.
Yonder. That was the congruence being destroyed.
Oh shit! I didn't even know when that was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So a long time ago.
Holy
At this
fuck.
point, that was like probably like
4 or
6
5
months ago
6
at this
months
point.
ago, yeah.
Because y'all had 3 months in Yonder
Yeah.
or in Duradera. Yeah, so like that was probably a good 5-6 months ago.
How long
Damn.
have we
About
been
3
back
years ago.
on the surface?
Back in Yonder.
Like
Back in
2,
Yonder,
3
yeah.
months almost.
So
Probably
6
like 1 or 2 months.
So this
because
has almost been a
y'all
full
did the
year's
whole
adventure for the
silver-
boys. It's like a little over half a year's adventure,
more or less with the time time jump in
Yeah.
Duradera.
Oh,
Yeah,
then yeah, a year. Fuck.
about a year probably.
Wow.
In
In a year's
let's
time,
see.
all this has happened. This is insane. Like this is Kyle
it's
speaking
two
about the story
parties,
happening to
two
our
parallel
characters.
stories happening at the same time.
That's crazy. And like the whole thing of like, she set so much in motion for us. Like even Bees. That's what blew me away. I was like, oh shit. She told Bees about us, and Bees showed up to protect us.
I kind of
That's why
thought
Bees
Bees
and
was
Celinda
all
were
of her
there.
dad.
Oh, if this is in character, we can get back into character.
Oh
but
no.
I just,
You know
I
how
just-
Carveth kind of lives in and outside of the storyline.
Yeah,
the
true.
fourth wall. Carveth blurs between the fourth wall. He can't control that power. It just happens.
It just happens. Carveth
but,
made a deal with one of his own gods.
Yeah. Anything else from this
The
you
god
want
of
clarified
walls.
or
No, I think
want to talk about with the other two?
I
Like,
have a question,
Yeah,
and
what's
I
on you guys'
forgot.
mind that
Carveth had vision stuff, and you said there was a big light and a little light.
So the big light was so you can kind of put this together at this
Yes.
point.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
big light was essentially the remnants of the crystal around this palace. This is not still powerful like the congruence was, but there's remnants throughout because it basically engulfed an entire mountain.
Did you say whenever you were describing that because I thought he saw multiple lights.
So the other light he saw, which you all assumed was the tide with their army, what the other light was the sand swept with the peace.
Oh no, I thought there was more than 2 that you described. Because I thought you said there were the 2 that we were going towards, and then I thought you described other ones.
I did. So to the west, you saw one which you know that the other congruence that no one's heard about is somewhere to the west, past Mordell. To the north, you saw in the mountains the big one, which we now know is this Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
As well as a small one, which was Sylvis and the Sandswept with their piece. With you was the other piece with this party, and then the other one was toward Lake Campbell.
Got you.
So that's where all the pieces were.
Nice. Dude, I think it... Well, okay, sorry.
Basically, we're going to treat it like waypoints on a video game map.
Hell yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Guys, have you ever played Halo?
Okay.
Carva
Okay.
definitely would be all about Halo.
So a few things I want to just ask about,
Man.
because we're not moving on in this episode.
Okay.
That we're gonna leave it with our discussion of this, and then in the next episode we'll like talk with the Sandswept and all of that.
Yeah.
A couple things I
We
want
need a lot
to
of sad
ask.
things to happen
Your
right before that
yeah,
episode.
so many things.
I'm gonna get some onions and stuff.
Fair. A number of things. One, the tide is
One person.
dense soul
Yep.
split in 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically when he died, his soul didn't know where to go, and it tried to go into all 3 clones at once.
He
So-
Voldemorted himself without
What
actually.
we've
I
remembering.
can't
learned
wait for the
on accident.
terrible. I can't
What
wait for the
we've
terrible
learned-
body horror we're going to get, because their varying sizes lets me know that some of them might be failed experiments. Some of them might be a little need to go back in the kiln.
You're gonna be
So what
gross.
we've learned is that they have created an army somewhere in the underground. We're not totally sure where.
Did they split their soul amongst this army too?
Sheldon the lobster, not yet. They're just clones yet,
Okay.
because their souls are still in the tide. They need the congruence
Yeah.
in
To do
order
that.
to safely split their souls, or not split their souls, but to like cast their souls in
Amongst
whatever.
that,
Yeah. However, we wanna
Necromancy
say that
ass
works.
shit.
Yeah, necromancy ass shit.
Radio wave their soul
A
across
couple
all the
interesting
corpses.
things that I haven't really considered the implications of. Like, Sheldon never mentioned anything about knowing any army of clones in the underground or the underworld. So whether or not he could be help with that, I don't know.
I mean, to
Let's
be fair, we
see.
didn't ask him.
True. Well, you didn't know to ask him. Elder Grumbo was in on this to an extent, but he had his memories wiped so that he couldn't be essentially so he couldn't be tortured for information. For
Oh,
his
thank
safety
God.
and y'all's safety.
Yeah, and for my mental safety.
Yeah, for real.
They torture Elder Grumbo. I'm going full. I can't. think
Dren
of
was
a
basically
cringe.
just a man
book
named
character,
Philip, who was Xena's best friend, more or less, and cared for her deeply and wanted the 3
Did
of you
Sadie
to
know
be
about
safe.
this?
Celinda.
Sadie, alongside Bees, was one of the duos looking after the 3 of you from a distance.
God.
They intercepted the Acolyte of the Tide to steal the map from them.
Celinda.
Bees beat the shit out of the acolyte.
Well, but Bees was seriously injured in this.
Yes.
She brought Bees back to the Den of Tiny Thieves, and then had some issues with them and trying to reconcile that. They took a number of their belongings, all of that. We saw the aftermath of that, but
Celinda, not Sadie.
Celinda, sorry.
Okay. Just making sure.
Um,
I was about to be like, did Sadie have
yeah,
a
no,
past with
Ce-
the
Ce-
Tiny
Celinda,
Thieves?
sorry.
Is that
No, I was gonna say,
happening?
is Sadie also in disguise, Celinda?
No.
That would
I've
warp
done
my
that a lot.
mind if I found out Sadie wasn't real. Like, they're already all not that
Sadie
real 'cause
isn't
they knew
real.
about us. But I'm just trying to think. Finn wasn't in on it, so Finn's a real one. Finn just met us and was like, "Love
as
these
far
guys."
as you know, everyone in Duradera, like,
They have no idea.
inconsequential to
Yeah.
their plot, except for
Yeah, that makes sense because they didn't know about our
holding
dad.
the congruence. Yeah, correct. They didn't know
Damn,
who
Barney
Dren
was telling the
was
absolute
because
truth. I mean, fuck.
they
these
didn't know
dirty
who
butts
Dren
and
was
1,000 hells,
because the
but-
mothers befriended Dren and all of the Sandswept once they had already fled and were off on their own quest.
Wait, did my mom cheat on my dad?
No. So
I'm so sorry.
Atheros
They might have been in an
and-
open relationship. You don't know.
So
Yeah,
Atheros, essentially, yes. They essentially were kind of just like fucking around.
Oh.
Atheros and Xena were essentially just like hooking up. Xena got pregnant and didn't like need Aetheros to stick around. Aetheros is, like I said, is heavily involved in heroism and various adventuring stuff across zones. And I think she was kind of like, you can...
He's a
you
zone walker.
don't feel like you have to stick around, but you're welcome to return if you want to at some point.
Why did he want me, man?
Zone stuff. All right, Will Smith.
Yeah.
Who's your Uncle Phil you're hugging as you're crying? It's Elder Grumbo. You're
It's
hugging
Elder
Elder
Grumbo.
Grumbo.
It's
You're
Uncle
doing like a
Bees.
tough guy crying.
Why
It's like,
did
it's
he
all right,
want me,
man. It's a young
Actually,
elder.
it probably would be Bees.
Oh, yeah, true.
At the very least, because Grumbo don't know shit about what's going on.
Yeah.
Bees, is in the
Uncle
know.
Phil. It's canon.
It's
Bees
definitely
is Uncle
bees.
Phil.
I'm going to ask
the
Bee-
three of
need
you
to
have a
prepare
lot
this,
to
Tyler.
talk to Bees
I'm
about.
going to ask Bees whether or not they'd like to be called aunt or uncle.
Oh yeah.
Or like a
that's
third
fair.
option, because I don't know the gender neutral option.
Thunkle.
Thunkle?
Thunkle is great.
Font? Hunt?
Bunkle.
Bunkle. The Uncle Grunkle's.
But let's see. Anything else?
Oont.
Unt. I like Unt. Unt is very good. Unt.
So
It's Unt
15.
bees.
So 15 years ago is when Faye and Drin disappeared, and that was when the Tide resurfaced, or Dent resurfaced as the Tide, looking for powerful artifacts and 3 women. And these casters were accompanied by a handful of robot bounty hunters, which the 3 of you encountered whilst fleeing Thandor the first time.
Yes.
If you remember, you ran into 2 robot bounty hunters and dispatched them. They had the spiral symbol as well. That's another one. Bon and Carveth, your spiral, your mark of the lasting, your spiral symbol did not show up because your fathers were interzonal beings.
Yes.
Shit.
And Alandi had essentially
Mine are both from the material plane.
both parents were both from the material plane, essentially. Let's see, which makes sense if you think about just like Bond's skin is all cloudy and moving and all of that. Alandi or Carveth, your dad's a demon, so like
Fucking
Yeah, I
sick.
can summon objects made out of my
Maybe
body
if
and
you
shit.
sin, it would appear sooner.
Dude, I sin all the time at the door.
Yeah, it's amazing drinking does it. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you have to go a day without
Yeah,
sinning
like
for it to appear. Maybe it's because you're
fully.
drinking all
I
the
feel
time.
like all the like crazy shit, like you jumping into shadows and like me transforming. Yes, there's like a mechanical reason, but I'd like to think canonically it's just because we have like crazy blood. We're like the Jake the dog of this crew.
Yes.
Jake the dog and Marceline. That's what we are. You're Marceline. I'm Jake.
Yes.
100%. That's what it is. He's
And
Finn.
Alandi's
Oh my god.
Finn.
Alandi
Yeah,
absolutely
kinda.
is Finn with the swords.
Gunther, why
Okay,
did
that's
you
some
good
art
my
right there.
fries?
Speaking of Tyler,
Fans, come on, give us the Adventure
Yeah.
Times.
I do
sweet.
want- I do want you
Jake,
to cut
Marceline,
this
and
if you
Finn.
like it, or I
Okay.
guess cut it either way. How cool? Because I feel like the way we should go, like at least where I'm thinking, where Alandi would be thinking, is that we should, since they're supercharging themselves with the artifacts, we need to find them and
1000%
supercharge ourselves.
That's exactly.
And
dude,
me having a piece and that being the handle of a sword I generate sounds fucking cool.
Oh,
I
shit.
thought
And then
that-
it's like a cool
I was thinking when we get the other
congruent
pieces.
sword.
So, and this is, I'm gonna
If
have
you
to let
like
it happen I'm gonna let it happen in story, and I hope you guys forget me saying this right now. Bon is absolutely going to eat the piece he finds. He's going to fully make it a
Love
part
it.
of him to like
Oh,
enhance
man.
his fucking
Bond is
storm
going
shit.
to die.
No, dude.
Well, I think-
think Luffy with the devil
Don,
fruit. It's just like
yours is with the family, or yours is with the adventuring party.
I'm thinking of like, what if what's his face
Right?
from Guardians of the Galaxy ate the fucking
We gotta go
stone?
find
Oh
the
yeah, I
family.
thought we grabbed the one from the adventuring party.
We
did
do.
y'all take?
We do have a
so
piece.
so Carveth, Matt
we
said
did
that.
get
I
it.
couldn't remember.
We
Did
have-
y'all
I think they gave it to us.
They
take
gave
it
it
from
to
them?
us.
They gave it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say,
I don't think they did because I think they didn't want to because they were like,
man,
it's
no, they
safer
did.
with us.
I really don't remember.
Well,
Listen,
I
I
do
still need to
remember
edit
now
that
that you
episode,
said-
and I'll know.
I'm like
I
remembering
like the
more,
idea
like, I
of
used the
Carveth
piece.
or Bond stealing it. That's fun.
I used the piece to like.
we could retroact. Hey, I'll roll the dice right now.
Oh,
and see if
did
Bond
you
stole
use
it.
like
I used the
find
piece
locate
as-
object or something like
No,
that?
well,
Like
I used the piece to meditate with it. So basically, like tap into the energy of the like stone.
Did you pocket it like a lighter and not give it
Listen,
back?
before we record a Wanderful Proper again, I'll find out the answer to that question and also who's traveling with you right now.
Hey, hear me out. If we didn't steal it, we should
not-
do a flashback where we actually
not a lot.
secretly did steal it.
I would love to, because I fully want an homage to One Piece. He found out.
To be
this
fair,
is a
you know where
thing.
they are.
Yeah, we can also
Fully
just do
take it. I think also canonically we could play it as Carveth literally could have pocketed it like a damn lighter and didn't
I'm pretty
give it
sure
back
they
to
gave
us.
it to
so
us,
here,
but-
here's what's difficult is there's no shot they
Yeah, there's no shot they
weren't
wouldn't have noticed.
keeping
Of
track of this artifact.
Of course.
But you
But what if I
know
ate it?
where they are. They were
Yeah,
going to Thandor to
they're at
help
Thandor.
short
What if Bon ate
defenses.
it? But what if Bon
So-
ate it?
He didn't.
But no, but I'm saying if we do this flashback, Bon's gonna eat it. Literally.
So, in response to what you said, Jeremy, I see the finale of Wanderful's campaign 1 going down in one of two ways, essentially, with no congruences via y'all destroying them or
Yes.
whatever,
We're going to sacrifice ourselves.
1-1. Like, it might not work out that way. Y'all could figure something else out. But
Well, that's why I was kind of, so it sounds like you are up for the idea of us using, because I don't know how we can beat someone with a super powerful artifact without just having one to beat them,
Yeah.
and then we can
Well, they don't
destroy
have
them
one yet.
after.
so
Oh, they
here's
don't have
where
one
I feel
yet.
like we're
That's
left.
true.
Here's where I feel like we're left. Y'all know where all three pieces of one are.
Yes.
Y'all have more information than the tide has you
Brother,
assume.
It's
Yeah.
time. So here's
There
my
is
thing.
another piece that no one knows the location of, the exact
exactly.
location of.
Here's my thing, right? We find the three pieces we know about. I eat mine. You make a sword. Carveth puts his in the.
So I was
In
trying to
his
talk
butt.
over you while you said this. Split up, it is just like normal powerful artifact.
But that's what. Listen to me.
No,
right?
that's
together,
good.
it's
That
like
works.
hyper powerful
Tyler,
artifact.
how are you not eating up what I was building to?
Listen,
we
I love
have
it.
These pieces. We touch hands as brothers. We say, "I love you." in
Oh, and
unison.
you
We
do
become
like
the
a Power
congruence.
Rangers
Yep,
Megazord.
We become a cloudy.
That's beautiful.
We
That's
become a
beautiful.
cloudy elf demon Super Saiyan fusion. We beat the dog piss out of these Tide boys.
Yeah.
We take their congruence, we rewrite history, and the Tide's getting spanked for money in the crowd. And that's the end.
Oh my god.
So-
Like, you get paid to spank them because they were so evil.
So where we're left after this, in the next episode, the three of you will have free reign to talk with the Sandswept,
yeah.
gain whatever information you want. We'll come up with a plan. As far as your options, just to lay them out in front of you, obviously you
Eat
can
the
do whatever the fuck you want.
congruence.
You can go to Lake Campbell to seek out this third piece. You could go to Thandor first to
Thandor's on the
try
way.
to get the piece from. It's I wouldn't say on the way.
Well,
but
it's on the way
not
because we left
completely-
north
it's
from
south.
Thandor, so like going toward the lake,
But
we would have to get close to.
It's like
You are
pretty
right.
far east
yes.
and west.
It would
but
be a slight detour, but it could be.
It would
on
be a
the
slight
way.
detour, not completely out of the
It
way.
would be on the way-ish.
Yes. So you could try to go get the piece from
Tyler,
the
you've
Mighty
been
Five or
laying it
whatever.
out.
I don't remember what I fucking called them.
You've been laying it out this whole time. We got to get it like the Space Jam basketball filled with basketball power. Put it together. We all touch it, become the Monstars, beat the Tide. I understand now, Tyler. I understand now.
So y'all are in a position now where you have almost all of the information that I've been secretly building.
Bro, Tyler gave us Dragon Ball Z.
Almost
I can't
all
believe
of it.
Tyler gave us Dragon
He
Ball
really
Z. We're
did.
literally going to collect the Dragon Balls right now. Like, I'm so excited.
Do you
And
think when we
I'm the
collect
track.
them,
So,
I could
but
wish
what I
my
was saying,
parents
but what I
weren't
was saying,
dead?
Yeah.
your options are essentially go to Thandor, try to get the other piece from that other venturing party first, then go to Lake Campbell, try to get that piece. Or you could go straight to Lake Campbell, trust that they're going to be able to hold on to their piece because they have for all these years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Or y'all
Oh,
could
that's true.
try to cut off the tide looking for the other congruence, which is what you assume they're doing.
I
Because
think
we have no idea what information they know.
With that
what they
adventuring
don't.
party being in Thandor and there being like other defenses shoring up, getting ready for any kind of surprise attack, they're fine. I think we send a message back to Thandor to ask them to wait around for us while we go to get something because it's very important. We need to talk to them about some shit. Because they met our mom, so they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, okay, so now we can vouch."
They
for you guys
didn't
as a
meet your
show."
mom. Your mom traveled with them for years.
Yeah, they
Okay,
knew.
then they know our mom.
Like they were like companions.
They know
with your mom.
your mom specifically very well.
Yeah, they know my mom. So no brainer. Yeah, we're gonna go to Campbell first, get that,
Yeah.
then go back to Thandor, talk with them, get that, and then find the final piece.
Yeah.
Make our Congrui become Monstars, slam dunk on some fucking Tide. Come on, it's time to get hype, said Whoomp.
And
There
then
it
at
is.
some point, Duradera is going to show up.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't.
And
wait
we'll
for
get a
that.
I
spaceship.
swear to God, I hope that they show up after everything is over. Like, just fully, like, it's like, oh, what I missed.
I was thinking about doing that, but then I'm like, that's such a bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, to be
Like,
fair though, whenever
every
they
time
get
I
back,
thread
we have a
hanging for no
spacecraft.
reason.
So
Every time I think of Duradera, I think
Or
of that
airplane.
Dark Castle from the Yu-Gi-Oh episode with the guy with
Yeah.
the Swords of Revealing Light. That
Yes.
did the thing that Swords of Revealing Light
Yeah.
doesn't
Definitely
do.
doesn't do it. Like, once it
the
comes
main
down,
thing I'm
it
worried about
falls.
is the
Yeah.
fact that Alandi won't shut up about this plane y'all have.
The flotation ring.
The fact that y'all have a plane waiting for you
That's
in this
exactly right,
city
dude.
is really making me
Dude.
not want to have them show up.
Hey,
No, they've got to
that's
show up.
fair.
Tyler. Not only do we have a plane, we've got a cart that I remembered, and now we know everybody's on our side. We got
Yeah.
a little bit of an army going because we got the Sandswept plus the people back at Thandor. We got to combine those armies.
hey,
so we get all
Tyler,
the
if you want like an easy
Yeah.
out, you can just say the planes don't operate a certain distance
and
away
the
from
planes
the
died
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
city or
gravity's
whatever.
different, not on here anymore. The robots,
The
when you
plane
built the robots,
stopped
you built the
working.
planes.
The plane stopped working when they left the
Yes.
atmosphere, like the magnetic who's you what's it of this planet.
But you could totally just say it doesn't have
Listen,
enough energy or whatever,
I'll go
so
ahead
it
and
has
tell
to
you,
stay close to the city.
Thandor is going to, or Duradera is going to return before whatever final fight happens.
We're almost done.
They're going to be a part of it in one way or another. I think that's where we stop it, though. That's
Matt took his
that's
shirt
a-
off, I thought, or
a
he's a
whole
bat.
lot.
I can't tell.
I was trying not
What?
to look at y'all's faces while I read all of that because I was like, I got to get through
I
this.
was
I can't
tearing-
get distracted
dude,
by them.
I was tearing up through a lot of it. There
I
were some
forgot.
parts that I was like, oh my God, like not expecting.
It's
and
hard
when
to
you said
have-
the bees thing. I was like, man, they really orchestrated our whole adventure.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way or anything.
It's hard to have like a shocked expression while also remembering that you have to fucking say shit.